Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Evolvepreneur Secrets Show for entrepreneurs, and I'm your host, Brian Silverthorne. It's my mission to help entrepreneurs make a difference and to navigate the often challenging worlds of startup, growth, or relaunch. And today we're going to dig deep with our guest and get you some great insights and strategies to fast track your business. And our special guest today is Michael Haynes, and Michael is a small to medium enterprise business growth specialist and founder of his own firm, Listen, Innovate, Grow. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Thanks, Brian. It's great to be here.
Good to have you. Interested to learn what you have to say. So let's start out by telling the folks where you're hanging out today.
Sure. So I'm residing in beautiful sunny Sydney, Australia, where I've been living here for 20 plus years. And as you said, I'm a business advisor to small and medium-sized businesses, a lot of your service-based businesses. And while I'm based here in Sydney, Australia, I work with clients globally, do a lot of work with clients in Canada, the United States, and in the Asia Pacific region.
Okay, so what inspired you to get involved in this particular business?
Great question, Brian. So I very much focus on working with those small, medium enterprises that operate in the business to business space. So you're selling products and services to other businesses. How I got into this space is that prior to setting up Listen, Innovate, Grow back in 2011 now, I was in my big corporate days, I was working with corporate organizations, some of your big banks, telecommunications company was my last full-time role, helping them in that business-to-business space. And I wanted to apply those concepts as to how they could help small and medium-sized businesses to really thrive and grow. I've always had that entrepreneurial drive within me, coming from a family of entrepreneurs. My sister has her own law practice in Canada. My cousin has her own DIY home renovation business. Her husband has her own construction business. So I've always been around entrepreneurs, and I've always had that passion to help my peeps. And B2B, business to business, has massive opportunities, but you really have to understand the playing field and how to navigate to really thrive and succeed. But massive opportunities exist for entrepreneurs in the B2B space.
No, good. Yeah, there is plenty of that. I agree with you there. So, when you were first getting started in this, making the transition from corporate world to entrepreneurship, what was your biggest set of challenges that you had to overcome?
Biggest set of challenges is probably getting out of my own headspace in terms of not, letting some of that imposter syndrome get to me. Recognizing that while you work for yourself, you do not work by yourself, and you have to recognize where are your strengths. And you do need to have a team to help you with some of the other various elements of the business, whether it be accounting, legal. For me, some of the detailed elements around the marketing, managing the customer databases and putting out all the emails and all those kinds of things. You can't do it all by yourself. And to thrive and grow and succeed, you've got to have people helping you with some of those detailed functional areas, which can be have a lot of nuances involved and can be time consuming. You've got to know where to focus your energy. So that was probably one of my biggest learnings earlier in setting up the business, Brian.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. You got to focus on what you're good at and what you enjoy and get other people to help you out with all the other aspects of what needs to be done. So you've had plenty of time doing that. You put together a pretty good team.
Yes, I have a pretty good team. So I have Anna, who is my marketing manager. So she manages, schedules my social media. She manages my email list. And when I'm doing events, like I just did a workshop last week, she does all of the marketing coordinating for me for that. I've got Dan as well, Dan Rippon, who manages my content and SEO. So he, gets my articles and blogs published, put up, making sure everything is SEO optimized, which is so critical because how business to business buyers, your business customers buy is very much through online research. So making sure you have your content being visible via SEO and you've got an optimized website is so critical. So Dan's my guy to make that happen. And then I have my accountant, my lawyer to help with managing, financial aspects, legal aspects. Eric, my lawyer, makes sure, given that I work internationally, I have all the right kinds of agreements in place. So those are kind of the four key elements in terms of team members. Anna and Dan, who I work probably most closely with. But yeah, they really help me keep the business moving forward, making sure I'm getting that visibility and what I need to be doing so that I can effectively practice what I preach and to get the right outcomes for myself so that I can serve small, medium-sized business owners, which is what I love to do.
Great. Well, you've put a lot of thought and detail into it, so I'm glad it's working for you. So, have you got a vision for where you'd like your business to be, say, 3 years from now, and a plan for getting there?
Yeah, so vision 3 years from now is a couple of things. One, I will probably step back a fair bit from doing a lot of the heavy one-on-one consulting with businesses. I'm in the process of launching an online community for small, medium businesses called Legacy, which will be launched early in the new year. By the time folks are listening to this, it'll be up and launched. So I'll be doing that, running some more mastermind groups. So doing some more group one-to-many offerings to serve SMEs, small, medium business leaders, and probably doing ramping up the speaking as well, the speaking and teaching components, getting on some bigger stages, more stages. So that's kind of what I'm looking at 3 years down the road, less on the consulting, working one-on-one with companies, getting in the weeds of strategy development and implementation, and more working on a one-to-many level through Legacy, the small, medium business B2B community, mastermind groups, and speaking. So that's kind of my vision of what I'm looking to do down the track.
Well, that sounds like a pretty ambitious vision. I'm sure I'm sure you can accomplish it. I could tell from your energy that you're going to make it happen. But do you have any anticipated roadblocks that you're going to have to knock down or run around to get there?
In terms of anticipated roadblocks, I mean, always having a plan in terms of how I'm going to go about, doing the marketing, getting the visibility. I do believe in this environment that we're in right now, small, medium businesses really need to be looking at how to collaborate and the different ways to collaborate to get that growth going. So I'm already in the process of exploring various collaborative opportunities as part of working towards my vision. So making sure I find the right partners and having a plan in place to execute those collaborative efforts are going to be a challenge, but also going to be leading to how I'm going to be able to get to where I want to go faster and achieve the outcomes I want to achieve.
Excellent. So, what's your ideal client look like? And if they want to find you, how do they do that?
So my ideal client is your CEO, business owner of a service-based small, medium enterprise. So, they could be an accountant, accounting firm, law firm, graphic design firm. So any firm particularly that's providing services to other businesses. I would say companies in the 20 to 100 person in terms of staff is kind of my ideal business where folks are want to know more about business-to-business strategies to really build and grow and take their businesses to the next level. That's who I would describe as my ideal client.
Okay, good description, very thorough. So, how do they find you at the moment? What's your best method for attracting those folks?
Okay, so two places. One on LinkedIn, because I'm very active on LinkedIn, always putting up lots of content to really educate small, medium business owners on what they need to be doing to succeed in B2B, because there have been a lot of changes over the past few months. So LinkedIn is one, and my website, listeninnovategrow.com. And that's the repository where I have lots of content in terms of articles, videos, checklists, all the tools and things that folks need, all of my services and programs, information about the community, all of that is there at listeninnovategrow.com.
Okay, good. So, LinkedIn, they can just find you by searching for your name, then, right?
Yeah, you search for my name, Michael Haynes. Look for me, the one based in Sydney, Australia. There I am. You'll be able to find me fairly easily.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we're kind of rolling toward the end here. Is there any question that I should have asked you that I didn't get around to?
I think one key question to ask is what is the one thing every small and medium business owner needs to be doing to ensure that they're ready to have a great 2023 and beyond?
Okay, so
And
let's
that one
pretend
thing,
I asked. Let's pretend I asked that question. So,
okay. Sure, Brian. And so the answer to that question is they all need to be doing some serious, what I call listening. So really listening on three levels. One, to really understand their own company in terms of strengths, weaknesses, goals, where they're going, listening to the market, so making sure they have an in-depth understanding of those industries and markets, both those they're currently serving and they seek to serve. And third, listening to your business customers, the B2B buyer. That's a third level. And there's three things you want to know there. You want to be making sure you know who buys, so who makes the decision to buy, what is important to them, and how they buy. Three very critical questions for which they really have to have an in-depth understanding, because being buyer driven and understanding who your buyers are, what's important, how they buy, really drives your marketing, sales, business development activities.
Yeah, that's excellent advice. I'm glad that I asked that question at the end. So have you got any a final bit of a hint or advice to end the episode?
Sure. I would say two things. One, for all my small business owners there, you know, your industry and your professional associations for both the industries that you're currently serving and seek to serve as a great repository to gain some of those insight around those industries and markets that you're serving. And talk to your customers, talk to those buyers, starting off with some of your key current clients and customers, identify who the current decision makers, buyers are relevant, and have some discussions to know where they're at, where they're looking to go, and what challenges that they may be having. Having those discussions, they don't have to be very long, Brian, but having those discussions, documenting those findings, and sharing them within your teams is quite critical, as that will determine what you need to deliver to your customers, how you need to deliver to them, and how you need to promote and engage. So, you know, having discussions with the decision makers, the business buyer, and making sure the current one, a great starting point in terms of really setting your path forward for your business.
Well, that's great advice, and I'm going to use that advice as a wrap for another great guest episode of the Evolvepreneur Secrets Show for entrepreneurs. And just before you leave, if you like this episode, please give it a 5-star review and share it with a few friends. If you want to make sure that you can catch up on some past episodes and you don't miss any of those in the future, go to evolvepreneursecrets.show. And if you're an entrepreneur and you got a great idea in your head, let's get it out in the world today.